Okay, so I'm putting up the answer key to make the videos go a little faster, just so we don't have to sit through this as long. So if we read the question, we've got the average American generating 1,500 pounds of garbage in a year, and 872 pounds will end up in the landfill. Okay. And so, assuming these amounts are normally distributed with a standard deviation of 160 pounds, use the Z score table to find out the percentage of people who generate, and then a bunch of these scenarios, less than 600 pounds that end up in a landfill. So, this actual garbage per year is kind of irrelevant. Like, this is kind of just a distractor. Okay. So, we're actually only going to be looking at that mean of 872, that standard deviation of 160, and our specific X value that we're interested in of 600. So if you remember from the previous notes, it goes, the formula for the Z is going to be X minus the mean all over the standard deviation. So that's what this formula comes in right here. And when you subtract that and put it in your calculator, you get negative 1.7. And again, that is your Z score right there. Okay. So what you would have to do, you could either scroll all the way to the bottom, which I'll do that right now. So negative 1.7. That gives us this situation right there, and giving me an answer of that probability being 0.0446 or 4.46%. And so there's a couple different ways you can think about it. That means that 4.46% of people are only generating 600 pounds or less into the landfill. As you can see, I screenshotted the Z table, so I don't have to keep scrolling a bunch of times. So now you're going to use that information to figure out something else. So it says between 600 and 1,000 pounds. So if we look at the previous question, that mean was 872. And then when you had 600, you shaded this way. And that's what the 4.46% is representing. Okay. So now when we're looking at between 600 and 1,000, I'm looking at this shaded area. And if you remember the default, just like in part A, the default is the left area. So I want to find the entire thing to the left of 1,000, the entire area to the left of 1,000, and then subtract off the 600, subtract off that little white space down there so that I get the entire red. So doing that, again, I've got my mean of 872. I've got my sigma, my standard deviation is 160, and my specific X value I'm looking at is 1,000. So that's what is going into this formula right here, giving me 0.8. So I screenshotted the table and I went to 0.8, and that spit out an area of 0.7881. But again, that's not the answer, because that would be less than 1,000 pounds. And we want between 1,000 and 600. So I have to subtract off the white part, which again was from part A, giving me 74.35% as my final answer.